Tensions in the U.S. have they've gone to a boiling point. Things are insane right now. Okay, and this is not left versus right anymore. This is not conservative versus Republican. For a lot of people, it still is. But there's something going on that is much deeper than all of that. It is a spiritual battle going on right now. It is a worldview battle. It's taking place right now. After what happened in the past year, not just a few days ago with Charlie Kirk and how evil that was, but just the past year. I mean, you have assassination attempts against the president-elect. You have trans people shooting up schools and churches. You have what happened to the poor Ukrainian girl. You have all these people that are not being dealt with according to the law. They're just being released. We're at a boiling point right now. I was looking at Google Trends. I got it pulled up right here. Do you know that September 11th, 12 a.m., okay? I heard this last night. I had to double check, and yes, it is true. Google Trends, they show terms that are being listed that show you how much people are searching for them. That's what it is. It's at a value of 100, and that's the top of the line. People are searching civil war, the term civil war, more than ever. This is shocking and unexpected and expected, like all at the same time. It is scary right now. Very scary. And what's going on at its center is a nation that has rejected Christ, that has rejected God and His Word. And when you reject God and you reject the basis of morality, this is what happens. You have one side of the worldview, not talking about liberals or Democrats or Republicans or conservatives. No. One type of person with a worldview of God, of His Word, of civil discourse. And the other type of worldview that says, I don't like what you say, you die. And these are clashing right now. You are seeing people laughing about what happened to Charlie Kirk. You are seeing people design T-shirts with his face on it and blood coming out of the neck. And they're gleeful about it. They are. They're selling these T-shirts. Now, these people are also getting fired from their jobs, as is right. But it really speaks to where we are. And we as Christians, we need to start thinking about what we are going to say. We need to start thinking about biblically, where should we stand on all of this? I know it would just be so convenient and so nice just to have a normalcy bias. It's not going to be normal. Oh, things will just go away. You know, this isn't actually happening. Way to ignore the issue. You cannot be doing that. Not right now. You know, I love history. I love history. And one of the points in time that I just haven't done enough research on, admittedly, is the Civil War in America. And I'm thinking now, I want to go back and I want to start sifting through the sermons and what preachers back then have said, what theologians back then have said. What was their take on everything going on? Did they address it at all? I want to start looking into that. And I want to give you some of my findings as soon as I do. We're in that generation. If things keep on going this way, we are in that generation that people will look back on and say, okay, how were you fighting? What words, what ideas were you giving to people? What advice were you giving to people in this time to help stop this? We're at a dangerous point. I have to say again, any Christian out there that is calling for civil war, you better repent. You better stop right now. You don't know what you're talking about. And if you do know what you're talking about, even more shame on you. We don't want that. No one wants that. Man, we're at a bad point. We're at a very bad point. And we better start addressing this stuff publicly. We cannot, as the church right now, continue to do what we have done in the past 50 to 100 years whenever a new trending topic comes up. The culture starts talking about it first, and then 5 to 10 years later down the line, then the church starts talking about it. Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. We have to be quick. We have to start thinking together as Christians. We have to start having dialogue. What's the fix for this? What can we do in our communities, in our churches, in our home? What can we do? We need to start having conversations, seriously, about this. And we need to not be afraid of the backlash in and out of the church for having these conversations, because too many times there are Christians that say, you shouldn't even be having this conversation at all. No, shame on you for not having it. When you look back at the prophets of the Old Testament, what are they talking about? They're talking about things that were happening in their day and in their time. Right then, right there. They didn't wait 5 to 10 years. They started talking about it right then, right there. That's what we need to do. We need to talk now. And so I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out here. I'm a little guy, all right? I'm just a little guy with a little staring into a camera. I would love to have somebody on here to talk about this stuff, to have a live or recorded conversation where we can talk about the problems and the solutions. We need to start getting ready. What is the church going to say when all of this stuff starts popping off? What's our position? Now, I know generally what our position is, but we need to have a deeper sense of it. Our position, first and foremost, will always be the gospel of Jesus Christ. He lived and he died for you. That is the message that we give to everybody. He resurrected on the third day. It is the hope of souls, of nations, of families. And without the message of Jesus Christ, yeah, I know, I sound like a Bible thumper, don't I? You know what? Good. Because that's the only thing that's going to solve this is Jesus, his light. We need to start preaching that loud. And I'm going to do that this Sunday. I'm not going to, shame on me if after everything that happened this week, shame on me if I don't address it. If I don't talk about it. I'm going to be talking about persecution. I'm going to be talking about why the world hates people with the mindset of Christ. I'm going to be talking about that. And if you're going to take this time, if you are going to take this time to, instead of talking about the obvious, talking about what needs to happen, if you're going to take this time and start picking apart, well, was he this or was he that? Was Charlie Kirk actually a believer? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to have any part of it. You're not helping. Here I stand. I want to have meaningful dialogue with somebody. I want it to benefit the people. So look, public call, okay? Let's have a discussion. Let's get ready together, okay? See you later.